Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Bando Mohi Savadana Mate. Bando Mohi Savadana Mate. Yahara Prasade Bhai Bhavatori Ajay. Krishna Prapti Oya Hoite. Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Shitete Koriya Akya. Arana Koriyo Mane Hasha. Arana Koriyo Mane Asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Ese Uttama Gati. Ese Uttama Gati. Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. Ye Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. Chakudan dilo je janme Prabhu se. Chakudana dilo je janme Prabhu se Devi Gyani Tre Prakashita Devi Gyani Tre Prakashita Prema Bhaktiya Hoite Avidya Vinasha Jate Prema Bhaktiya Hoite Avidya Vinasha Jate Vidyaya Haracharita Vidyaya Haracharita Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu Lokenath Loke Rajivana Lokenath Loke Rajivana Aha Prabhu Korodoya Deho More Padachaya Aha Prabhu Korodoya Deho More Padachaya Ebe Jasa Grishi Tripuvana Ebe Jasa Grishi Tripuvana Aha Prabhu Korodoya Deho More Padachaya Aha Prabhu Korodoya Deho More Padachaya Ebe Jasa Grichu Tripuvana Ebe Jasa Tripuvana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasatyadi Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Radha Nata Radha Radha Nata Radha Jaya Gaurani Thai Gaurani Thai Gaurani Thai Jaya Gaurani Thai Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Yamuna Maya Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna and welcome to today's Sunday Love Feast program here at Sri Sri Radha Radhanath. A very special welcome to anyone that is joining us for the first time and to our online viewers. A gentle reminder to everyone to please check that your cell phone is switched off or put on silent mode. Today's topic is titled Krishna Meditations based on the Bhagavad Gita and is presented by Her Grace Urmila Devi Dasi. Her Grace Urmila Devi Dasi was initiated by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada in 1973 and has served in ISKCON since then. She serves in various capacities and is the chair of the Shastric Advisory Council to the GBC. She's an associate editor of Back to Godhead magazine for 30 years and was formerly a professor of sociology of religion at Bhaktivedanta College. Mataji travels worldwide teaching Krishna consciousness. Her Grace Urmila Mataji is also a world-renowned author with several book titles. Apart from her spiritual pursuits, Mataji has a PhD in education and has experience in both primary and secondary school education, with an extra 19 years of experience with school management. I would now like to invite Mataji to take her seat on the Vyasasan and hand over to her. Hare Krishna.
We get a cup. So just give me a moment, please, to set up the tech. The reason we have a small screen like this, and you might want to sit more this way, is that with all of the ambient light in the temple room, using a projector and a big screen doesn't work very well. So this way we get a clearer picture, but it's on a smaller screen. Okay. Excellent. All right. I just need to check the sound. How high is the volume? It's only seeing one. There we go. Sometimes it's funny. I have to like put it in, take it out, put it in. It's probably going to be this one, yeah? Which one do you think it's going to be? Probably this one? I'm going to turn my volume here way down, just in case. But how high is your volume turned up there? Okay. Okay, we're not getting anything. There we go. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Now, you ladies sitting over there you're missing so much stuff, so is there some way that we can accommodate them? Can we get some more chairs, maybe? Yeah, maybe the men can move more this way, and then you'll have a row of chairs there you can put there for the ladies. We have 5 ladies that don't have chairs. Well, I don't want them to sit there. Well, they won't be able to see anything over there. We can't have like... Yeah, but put that in the middle. Hare Krishna. Put more in the aisle there. Just make the aisle narrower. On the ladies' side. You want to put them on the ladies' side. Yeah, there we go. It's called taking care of people. There we go. We have 2 ladies there. We have chairs here for you. You can bring the cushions. She can't see anyway? Okay, and neither of you can see. Can you hear? You can see me well enough to know. They can both hear, but neither of them can see. Okay. Okay, no problem. Thank you for coming to hear. And everyone else can see? What about people all the way in the back? It's a small screen. Can you see? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pacharne Nivasesa Sannivadi Paskatyade Satarne. So by the way, we have a special treat at the end of the class. So what's the essence of Bhakti Yoga? Anybody know what our great teacher, Acharya Srila Rupa Goswami says is the essence of Bhakti Yoga? To always what? Always remember Krishna. Yeah, to always remember Krishna. Krishna talks about that as the essence of yoga. He says, what does he say? Yoginam api sarvesham madgaten antaratmana shradabham bhajate yomam samayuktatamo mataha. The yogi who always thinks of me is the best yogi. Now, we might imagine that what this means is just to think of Radharanath, to think of the Lord playing his flute, dancing with gopis, eating with the cowherd, all these lovely leelas that we have here. So many. That's certainly true. But right after Krishna says this, at the end of the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he talks about how to think of him in the world. Why does he do that? And then in the 8th chapter is kind of a little detour, you could say. Arjuna asks a bunch of questions that Krishna answers. And one of them was how to remember you at the time of death. Then Krishna says, Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam twajachante kalevaram tam tam evaiti kanteya sadatad bhava bhavita. My Gurukul students used to like that verse. They would often say it when they were eating something they really liked. Ah, this sabji is delicious. Yum, 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 vapi smaram bhavam. That means whatever you think about at the time of death is where you go. And you might imagine that the next thing Krishna would say is, therefore, Arjuna, you're right. Walk away from this battlefield. Go to the Himalayas or, go to Vrindavan, sit by the Yamuna, just meditate on me. But he doesn't. In the next verse, 8:7, he says, what? Mam anusmaram yujacha. Anusmaram, anu means to follow, or it means again and again. You know how we'll think of things over and over again in our mind? We'll churn them in our mind? That's anusmaram. Mam anusmaram yujya cha, while you're fighting. Now that's not a general instruction to all of us to be fighting. But the point is, while we're active in whatever we're doing in the world, we should again and again and again and again be thinking about Krishna. And then as Krishna finishes in the 8th chapter responding to Arjuna's questions, he goes back to his points from the 7th chapter. And so there in the 9th chapter, again, he starts reiterating the same thing. How we can find him in the world. And then the next chapter, the 10th chapter, he goes even into more detail. Then he actually shows Arjuna all of this in the 11th chapter, and he touches on this again in the 15th chapter. The Bhagavatam is also full of descriptions like this, how the world is the body of God. And it's there over and over again. So what? Why are we being advised like this? It's so interesting because first we could say, justifiably, that such a vision of seeing God everywhere and in everything is there for the Mahabhagavats. Premanjana charita bhakti vilotanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shaimasundara achintya swarupam. That one sees Shaimasundara in every atom, everything, everywhere. That's for those who are full of prema. But it's funny, since I've been taking a deep dive into this, I keep running into it over and over again. Isn't that interesting how that happens? What you start meditating on from the scripture, you start finding it everywhere in the scripture. And this morning, again, I was hearing Srila Prabhupada speak on the first canto of the Bhagavatam, and again he was saying, this is for the beginners. Find Krishna in the taste of water, in the light of the sun. So this is both the natural vision of the advanced practitioners of yoga, and it is the practice for the beginner practitioners. So whether we're just starting our bhakti yoga today, or whether you've been practicing for 100 lifetimes, this same practice is there. Why? Because we're living in the world and we're interacting in the world. We have our duties in the world. We're going around in cars or buses. We're eating things. We're talking to people. We're interacting with so many things in the world that may serve to distract us from Krishna. Yes? But instead, if we were to see all of those interactions, all of those people, things, activities as Krishna, then everything in the world is going to act as what's called an udipana, or an impetus to remember Krishna. Can you see the screen from there? If you can't, please come over here. So Prabhupada was once asked in Japan, by one student, I want to see God, and Prabhupada said, then see God as he is recommending. As the light of the sun, as the taste in water, the sound in ether. And one lecture, Srila Prabhupada says that if we practice in this way, there will be no more material world. What do you think, huh? Does that sound good? In the 20th chapter of Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada says that Maya exists only within the mind. So if we change our consciousness, he says there'll be no more material world. He says it 3 times in that lecture. He says there'll be no material world, there'll be no material world, there'll be no material world. That's all right, let's leave it for now. You ready? Everybody ready? All right. So we're going to go over Bhagavad Gita 7th, 9th, 10th, and 15th chapter, and then, as I said, I have a special surprise at the end. What I'd like you to all do is take notes, if you have paper or your phone, and I'd like you, as we're going through these, to pick 1, 2, or 3 of them that really strike you. Wow, this is something I could do. This is something I could meditate on this week. To pick 1, 2, or 3 of them that you really want to meditate on this week. And at the end of the class, I'm going to ask, after the surprise, I'm going to ask for people to volunteer to name what they're going to meditate on. All right, clear? Everybody ready? All right. I'm going to start with chapter 7. So can you see? Can you see? All the way in the back. Can you see? Sorry for the size of the screen. But it's really a good, clear picture. So small but good is better than big and bad. So here Krishna says that he is Om. This is something that Krishna says 3 times, that I am Om. So we know the whole creation started with sound. That sound is Om. And actually everything is still vibrating with sound. Even solid matter, the scientists say the atoms, the molecules are still moving. Moving means they are vibrating. Yes? And everything is filled with Om. But Krishna also says he is all sounds. So I like this one because it's especially intellectually challenging, and I like intellectual challenges. Wind, traffic, chairs moving. How are those Krishna? Such a fascinating thing to meditate on. How are the different sounds Krishna? One lecture Prabhupada said, if you don't want to chant Hare Krishna, you can meditate on how Krishna is in all of the sounds. Even that one. I am the seed. This is also something Krishna says 3 times. Of course, bhakti is compared to a seed that the guru plants in the heart, and by hearing and chanting, the watering process of hearing and chanting, it finally comes to have flowers and fruits of love at the lotus feet of the Lord. Righteous romance. When you see husband and wife who are loving and caring, as Prabhupada says, a reciprocation of service and love. They're raising their children with love and affection. That is Krishna. Strength that is used to protect others. When we use our strength to protect others, when we see others using their strength in that way, that is Krishna. The heat in fire. Can we all become aware of the heat in this room? I read once where some scientist said that this world is just a cold, impersonal machine. That is not the fact. Actually, the whole universe is a living organism. Heat means life. Heat also means love. We talk about like a warm embrace. When we become aware of the heat, we can become aware that Krishna is full of life and love. If you sit there, you won't be able to see, and I will be very sad. So please sit someplace where you can see. There's some room in the back, and there's some room in the front. Yes. And for you guys too. The original fragrance of the earth. And just this morning, again, and Prabhupada was talking from the first canto, and he was talking about this verse, and he said, how does Krishna pull the fragrances out of the earth? How does he do it? And all different fragrances from the same earth. Gardenias and frangipanis and jasmine and mogras, and how does he do it? Prabhupada says, even if you don't read the scriptures, even if you don't have a guru, you can find God in the fragrance of a flower. The penances of the ascetics. This is a very interesting statement of the Lord. Right before the Chatur Shloki of the Bhagavatam, the essential 4 verses of the Bhagavatam that the Lord speaks to Brahma, he says to him, Tapo me hridayam sakshat. Penance, hridaya, heart, sakshat, directly. Penance is directly my heart. And atmaham tapaso, I myself am penance. What does penance mean? We've done something wrong, and we put things back into balance. The simplest form of penance is a genuine apology. Is that easy or hard? Hard. Right? Sometimes people give these sort of wishy-washy apologies, right? Well, I'm sorry if you're offended by what I did. A real apology means we're chipping away at the false ego, putting things back into balance, and that is Krishna, the life of all that lives. Can we stop and become aware of our sense of being alive? That sense of aliveness. I am alive. And now to become aware that all the other people in this room also have this sense of aliveness. The birds outside, the trees, the grass, the insects, they all have this sense of aliveness. The world is full of aliveness, and that is Krishna. The intelligence of the intelligent. So we all have some intelligence, and you know what it feels like when we do something smart, right? You do something smart and you go, whoa, that was smart. That's Krishna. Prowess, that means skilled strength. The light of the sun. This is something Krishna says 3 times. Can we become aware of the sunlight in this room? Even though the sun is so far away, we have practically no artificial lights on in here, and still the room is full of light. And generally we take this for granted. Oh yeah, there's sunlight. The sun allows us to engage in all of our activities. It eradicates our ignorance, gives us surety, gives us courage, because it's Krishna. And the light of the moon, today is the day of the full moon. This morning, Radharanath were wearing white for their full moon day. And of course, the Lord is often compared to the moon. The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are compared, Koti Chandra Shushitala, are compared to millions and millions of cooling moons. And ability. This is a great one to meditate on, because you can meditate on it always, anytime. We always have some ability. Each of us right now have an ability to sit, to think. Try wiggling your toes. Everybody try wiggling your toes. How'd you do that? That's Krishna. Taste of water. So what does it feel like, especially on a hot day when you're outside in the sun and you're working hard, and then actually Prabhupada says this is a taste of any liquid. You know, orange juice, mango juice, lassi, anything. Anytime that we're drinking anything, that rasa, that taste is Krishna. Okay, we did chapter 7, going on to chapter 9. Kratu, I am the ritual. So of course, in our practice of bhakti yoga, there's so many rituals. Even in daily life, there's rituals. All right, when I visit our older son, you know, when we're washing the dishes, putting them away, so the plates go over here and the cups go over here. Then when I visit our younger son and we're putting away the dishes, the plates go over here and the cups go over here. Right? There's a different ritual because they have different desires. And all the rituals that we do are also the Lord's desires, and the Lord's desires and the Lord are the same. And the yajna. Yajna means a ceremony of connection. A ceremony of connection with the divine. So even to connect to another person, you have to do a ceremony. Like if I want to connect to my daughter, I have to do a ceremony. I have to get out my phone. It has to be charged. It has to be on a network. I have to put in the right number. If I'm one number wrong, it's not going to work. I have to make sure the timing's right. Right now, she's 7 hours earlier than I am, so I've always got to check the time, not call her, right? You were talking to me about that, right? Your son's on the west coast, the Pacific coast of America, right? So, you know, you got to make sure you don't call them at 1 o'clock in the morning their time, or else they'll go, why are you doing calling me? Right? So there's ways that Krishna wants us to connect with him. And these ceremonies of connection, again, indicating the Lord's desire, are the same as Krishna. The offering to the ancestors. Krishna wants us to respect our family elders and our valuable family traditions. And the healing herb. You all know what it's like to feel sick, and you take some medicine. Even modern pharmaceuticals are derived from plants, or the synthesized chemicals from plants, and you take some medicine and, oh, I feel so much better. That is because the potency of the medicine, actually the medicine itself, is Krishna. and the transcendental chant. So if Krishna is all sounds, certainly he is the sounds of his name. And not only the ritual and the ceremony, but all the ingredients of the yagyas, that is Krishna, and the Father. So every religion says that God is a supreme Father. So all of us here have a father. I hope we have a good relationship with our fathers. Many of you are fathers. Every day we have contact with so many fathers. If you take the ideal father, someone who's responsible, who's caring, who provides for their children's education and protection and security and fun, right? And their spiritual life, and you magnify that hundreds and hundreds of times, some idea of what a father is Krishna. But he also says that he's the mother. So we grow inside the body of our mother, right? Our body is produced from her body. Similarly, our body is produced from the body of God. And we're nourished by the body of our mother. Actually, everything that nourishes us in this world, the Bhagavad says all the vegetation are the hairs on his body. And just like a mother will love the child even if the child goes bad, isn't it? Child's a criminal, they're in jail. The mother still has affection for the child. So even when we make mistakes, even when we mess up, Krishna, just like a caring mother, always has affection for us. I am the support. So what supports us? We'll say our job. How do you support yourself? We usually mean your job. We can think of the physical support of the building. Or maybe on an emotional level, social level, our friends, our family, our community. But can all of those break? Can they break? Oh yeah. But Krishna never breaks. He's always there as our support. And the grandfather, Prabhupada says the grandfather is more affectionate than the father. Jai Shri Shri Radharani. Jai Giridhar Govardhan Jai Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also, this means that we're in Krishna's dynasty. Like you do a yajna, they'll say you're in Achyuta Gotra. The object of knowledge, the famous scientist Louis Pasteur said, if you study a little bit of science, you may become an atheist, but if you study a lot, you'll have to become a theist. The purifier. We do so many things to become purified. We try to eat right. We take a bath. We wash our clothes. We clean our house. Maybe we undergo some sort of physical regimen or some sort of mental therapy or whatever. But the active principle, the reason those things can purify us is because Krishna is actually the purifier. And again, he says he's Om. And we may say, well, that's really simple, like just one syllable, Om. You're going to say that's God. So Krishna may appear to be very simple. Lord Brahma thought he was simple. He came and said, oh, it's this little boy, little village boy, herding animals in the forest, sitting down, eating with his friends, having some yogurt and fruit in his left hand. How can he be God? But of course, he is God, even though he seems to be very simple. And the goal, Prabhupada says, if our mind is not peaceful, that is because we do not have an ultimate goal. So setting the goal, working toward the goal, achieving the goal, that is Krishna. The sustainer. So what sustain? Now, if you're going to send people over there, they're not going to be able to see. So our ushers here, please don't send people over there. You sent them over there and they didn't listen to you. People are like that, So you can't see anything over there. Please sit someplace where you can see. Please move. You see the screens here? If you can't see the screen, that you're missing like at least 50%. There's no way you can see the screen just because you moved over a few centimeters. Yes, you need to, yeah, there you go. All right, so what sustains us? The air, the temperature, water, food, our interests in life, our friends in life. But actually, it's really Krishna's energy working through all of those to sustain us. So I am the master. So this is not very popular in 2024, is it? Nobody wants a master. No one tells their kids, I hope you grow up to be a good servant. So who here has ever had a really good boss? Anyone ever had a really good boss? Anybody? Anybody? Like 4 people in the audience? It's always a small number. You know, when you have a really good boss, you're so happy. You just know, I can just focus on there's some room right here. And I am not armed. You can just sit right there. It's safe, really is. So, you know, when you have a good boss, you can just do your work and you know that everything's taken care of. So it's a nice story I was reading from this one very famous Christian writer. He said he and his wife and their 2 young children were going for a car ride. And they put their kids in the car seat, and they first stop at a grocery store, and the wife gets out, buys some things. Then they stop at a petrol station, and he gets out, fills up the car with fuel. Then they stop at a friend's house. Wife gets out, gives something to the friend. Then they're going on the highway too fast, and a police officer comes with the sirens and the lights and has them roll down their window and gives them a ticket. Then they're going on another 10 minutes, and then the 3-year-old girl says, "Daddy, where are we going?" And he thought, for the last 45 minutes, she's just been quiet, happy in the car. And from a 3-year-old perspective, what's happening? We stop someplace, mommy gets out, comes back in. Daddy gets out, does something funny to the car, comes back in. We stop at another place where mommy gets out. And this weird guy comes with his lights and noise. And I don't even know where we're going, and she's happy. She doesn't know where we're going. She doesn't know what's going on. Why is she happy? Because what does she know? Who is driving? Who is driving? I am the witness. So we may not like this. Okay? Close your door, close your curtains. Nobody can see what you're doing, but Krishna can see. I can't get away. But no, it's not like that. You can do an experiment. So this evening, go to someone who loves you, someone who genuinely loves you, and say, "Can I talk to you for 2 hours about everything I did today?" Yeah, but Krishna really cares. Krishna cares about everything we think, everything we feel, everything we desire, not just today, but from the beginning of time. And I am the abode, something to remember every time we go home. How do we feel when we go home, right? I can just be my authentic self. You know, Krishna's everywhere. And no matter what's going on, we can always relax in Him as our abode. And I am the refuge. Several places, one of them is in Bhagavatam 3:20-17, but there's several places where Srila Prabhupada says, the Lord is like an umbrella from the rain or the sun of Maya, of illusion. Whenever you get up an umbrella for the rain or for the sun, or you go under a shelter on a hot day or a rainy day, you can always remember Krishna is the refuge. And the most dear friend. So I hope all of us have at least one friend. Yeah? A good friend. So what is a good friend? Someone with whom you feel a sense of equality. Someone where you do fun things together. There for you when you need it. You're there for them. You have an understanding with each other. And if you take that feeling of friendship and you could expand it out to infinity, it would give us some idea of how much friendship we have. Huh? Suridam, from this dear friend, Krishna. Creation and annihilation. So we're very fascinated with both of these because they're Krishna. Just like little children, you know, they build things out of blocks and then what do? They knock them over, right? So there's people on the internet who actually pay their bills by knocking over blocks. Did you know that? They have their YouTube channel and they build these structures out of blocks, and then like dominoes, they hit one and they collapse, and they monetize these videos. That's how they pay their bills. Because we're so fascinated by both creation and annihilation because it's Krishna. And the basis of everything. Secularism means when we describe the story of our life or the story of the world without reference to God. But actually underlying our joys, our sorrows, our victories, our defeats, everything in life, our lessons, our joy, our anger, everything underlying all of those is Krishna. And I am the resting place. I really like getting the pictures for this one. This is something I think about every time I go to bed at night. Or even if, you just rest for a while somewhere, or a place of mental rest and peace. Krishna is that resting place. And again, he says he's the seed. So we eat so many seeds, right? The majority of human beings have seeds as their staple food. Rice, wheat, barley, oats, even our beans, our legumes, a lot of our spices. So I think today they're going to be serving a feast, right? You're going to be serving a feast today? Are there going to be any seeds? Yeah. So at the feast we can meditate. These seeds, the power-packed nutrition of the plant, that is Krishna. I give heat. When we're cooking, the heat actually makes the molecules of the food dense. That's why when you hang your clothes out in the sun, they get dry, because the heat makes the water molecules dance off the clothes. And in cooking, the molecules are dancing, and the food's flavor is revealed, and the juices, right, come out of the food. So when we go in front of Radharanath, we also start to dance, and our heart melts, and our real flavor comes out. I withhold and send forth the rain. When I was about 10 years old, I was in the car, and it was only raining on our side of the street. I can remember this as clear as if it happened yesterday. It was so amazing, like right down that line in the center of the road. On our side it was raining, the other side it wasn't. And I never thought of that before that. The rain has to end somewhere, right? So when our oldest son was about 1.5 years old, so we were living in a temple ashram, and there was a sink in the corridor, and sometimes he would take a container and he'd go over to the sink, and he'd wait till one of the ladies came by, and then he'd say, "Water, water, water." And so they would give him water. And then what does a 1-year-old child do with water? And then what do they do after it's on the floor? And so the ladies would come up to me and say, "Why are you giving your son water?" I said, "I'm not giving him water, you're giving him water." They said, "But he comes up, water, water." So sometimes Krishna turns on the tap, and sometimes he turns it off. Immortality and death. So generally we're very afraid of death. Why? Because we've invested so much in the temporary things of this world related to this body. We used to do a philosophical drama in the early days of the movement called The Wrong Bank Account. If you know someone's bank account numbers, you can put money into their account. You know that, right? You can't take your money out, but you can put it in. So we had this man that every time he got paid, he'd put money into the bank, but then when he went to retire, there was nothing there because he had put it into the wrong account. So if we're putting our energy, our emotional energy, our intellectual energy, physical energy, everything into this body, this mind, our family, our friends in this world, our career, our networks, our talents, thinking this is me, aham mameti, this is me, this is mine. At the time of death, we'll go to make a withdrawal. There won't be anything there because we will have put it into the wrong account. And therefore, death is frightening. But if we see that death is Krishna, and everything we've been doing in this world, we've been putting into that account, Krishna, I'm brushing my teeth for you. I'm taking care of my child for you. I'm doing this job for you. Then death is like the cat picking up the little kitten, as opposed to the cat picking up the rat. Now, Krishna is not only death, but he's immortality. We don't die. And beyond death, nahanyate hanyamaneshari, right? We live forever. And both death and living forever is Krishna. So we went through the 7th and the 9th chapter. Now we're going to look at the 10th. The beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings, our childhood, our middle age, our old age, Again, he says he's the light of the sun. Do you know that everything in this world is a transformation of sunlight? Everything. The plants grab sunlight through photosynthesis, make it into food. We eat the plants. Or even people who are meat eaters, they're eating animals that are eating the plants. We're just transformed sunlight, which is Krishna. Among the stars, I am the moon. When we see the moon surrounded by the stars, we remember Krishna eating surrounded by his cowherd boyfriends or dancing surrounded by the gopis. And the mind. So for us yogis, we may think the mind is very troublesome. But when Krishna is explaining in his letter through Uddhava to the gopis about how they can remember him, there Prabhupada says that whatever we can think, feel, and desire is all within the energy of Krishna. And when we realize that, we can realize how all the activities of the mind can be Krishnized. And even those sounds are all Krishna. And the living force, consciousness. Can we all become aware that we are aware? Become aware of our awareness. We are aware of where our shoulders are. We are aware of where our toes are. Even if we close our eyes, we're aware of the space in front of us, on either side of our shoulders, and behind us. We are full of awareness. And everyone else in this room is also full of awareness. That bird singing is full of awareness. This whole world is full of awareness, and that is Krishna. Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. It's funny, this morning I was hearing Prabhupada talk about this as well. So one of my godbrothers, he's retired now, but he used to be a physician in the maximum security prison for the criminally insane. How'd you like to have that as your job? So that is Lord Shiva's job in the universe. And the ocean. So you all live very close to the ocean. Just yesterday we went to walk at the ocean. So the ocean seems, it seems sort of homogeneous, you know? It's very deep. It's vast. And although it seems to be very plain, it's full of unlimited life. So Krishna seems very plain, ordinary little boy herding his cows, but actually he's deep and broad and full of unlimited pastimes and qualities. And again, he says he is Om. Srila Jiva Goswami says the syllable Om is actually made up of 3 Sanskrit letters, A, U, Srila Prabhupada refers to this statement of Srila Jiva Goswami at least twice in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that the A is Krishna, the U is Srimati Radharani, and the the Anushwar, is us, the living entities. So he already said he was all yagyas, but he's especially the chanting of his holy name. Because in many of the Vedic yagyas, you have to get everything just right. If you get your timing a little bit off, your mantras a little bit off, you know, you want to create some friend in your yagya, you create a demon, you know, you really got to get it just right. But with the chanting of the holy name, you can do it silently, you can do it quietly, you can do it loudly, by yourself, with others. When you're clean, when you're dirty, when you're sick, when you're healthy. Anywhere, anytime. And Krishna is there. The immovable Himalayas. So we don't have any Himalayas around here, but you do have some hills, and that at least can remind you that Krishna is immovable in his love for us like the Himalayas. And banyan trees. You don't have any banyan trees here either, do you? Do you have any banyan trees? Not really. How many of you have seen a real live banyan tree? How many people have seen a banyan tree? So you know, if it's a really big banyan tree, you can't tell where the beginning is, right? And so expansive. That's Krishna. And the king, people are still fascinated in 2024 with kings. I don't know why, but somehow, you know, when King Charles got coronated, so many people were enamored. But what to speak of when Krishna, his activities as the King of Kings, and the thunderbolt, the lightning, that can destroy huge trees and buildings, that's grabbing the nitrogen out of the sky, putting it into the soil. The Surabi cows that give unlimited milk and whatever you desire. So the Upanishads say, what? Nityo nityanam chaitanya chaitanam eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. That Krishna has been fulfilling the desires of everyone since the beginning of time. And there are so many reasons that people have children, but of all those reasons, Krishna says he is the love and affection between the husband and wife. And he is Yamaraj. So sometimes it seems that evildoers prosper and good people suffer, but actually behind everything there is Yamaraj, and everything is fair and just. And time, whatever we have, our beauty, our health, our wealth, our possessions, everything is going to be worn away by time. But if I'm connecting everything with Krishna now and now and now and now and now and now and now, I will not be disturbed by this wearing away of time. The lion, that when he roars, the other animals run away, like when Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita, the demons and the atheists run away. And the wind. It's so nice to have this breeze in this room, isn't it? One of the nice features of this room. And whenever you have enough breeze, everything stays fresh. Right? It's only when like a room's been closed up for a while that it gets old and musty. And the wind purifies everything. Parasuram, who gets rid of corruption in government. Whenever we see people purifying leadership in government, we remember Parasuram. And of the fish, he is the makara. So we don't usually see makaras. And there's no English translation for this word. And Srila Prabhupada would usually translate it as shark. Sometimes he would translate it as dolphin, and sometimes as crocodile, the great beasts of the deep. And of all rivers, he is the Ganges, Mother Ganga, spiritual water that comes from beyond the universe by the piercing of the universal coverings with the toenail of the Lord. Padanakanira Janita Janapavana. And of everything, the beginning, the middle, and the end. So the bottom of your sandwich, the middle of your sandwich, the top of your sandwich, the planning for the special event, the cleaning up after the event, the beginning of the journey, the destination, the going back home. And the science of the self. Srila Rupa Goswami says we have the same qualities as God. In a small quantity, but we're very small, so that's okay. But our qualities are wonderful. We're all beautiful, youthful, effulgent. We're all geniuses. Krishna says in the 6th chapter, text 20, that when we see the self, we will relish and rejoice in the self. We won't be disturbed by anything. We'll always be situated in truth. That science of knowing the self is Krishna. Then he says he is Vada. Vada means discussions where you park your ego at the door and you want to find truth. And those discussions are wonderful, aren't they? When everyone's just interested in truth. Krishna says, Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. You feel satisfied and happy. There's also jalpa. Jalpa is where you're not looking for truth, you just want to win. I had this ongoing discussion with this one lady for a few weeks, and afterwards I'm like, what do you want? She said, I just want you to say that I'm right. That's jalpa. Vitanda, you're not looking for truth, you're not trying to establish anything, you're just trying to destroy. You're just trying to show that someone else is wrong. So of all these discussions, Krishna is Vada, the real search for truth. And he is the letter A. Can we say the sound A? You notice you didn't use your tongue, lips, or teeth. This is the basic sound of all language. An inexhaustible time. Our good times come, our good times go, bad times come, bad times go. Underneath all of them is Krishna. All devouring death. So not just the final death of the body, but all the little deaths. The death of our education, the death of our job, our residence, a relationship, a project, an idea. When Vamandev came to Bali Maharaj and asked for charity, And Bali's guru said, don't give it to him, he's Krishna. And Bali said, we know he's going to take everything at death anyway. Why not give him now voluntarily what he's going to take at death? So my mother did that about a year before she passed. She gave away all of her possessions. She said, better to give with a warm hand than a cold hand. So if I've already given Krishna my relationships, my wealth, my talents, my residence, if I've already given that to him, like if I said to you, hey, you can have this water, and you say, oh, you can leave it there for a while, I'll pick it up later. When you pick it up, I already gave it to you. So when Krishna takes these things, we've already given it to him, then we're not disturbed. The start before the start. You know how sometimes we don't really see the start of something except in retrospect? Like we'll say, oh, this thing really, this job or this relationship, it actually started back then when I did this or met this person or went, but I didn't know then that it was the start. That's Krishna. The fame of women. When women are famous for their dharma, that is Krishna. The sparkling beauty of women, that is Krishna. Therefore, women should use their beauty in his service, and men should see that the beauty of women is actually meant for Krishna. Fine speech. In Bhagavatam 9.5.7, it says, Sudarshan is the master of speech. When women speak like that, as representatives of Sudarshan, to enlighten, to cut out ignorance, that is Krishna. And memory. And remembering, okay, this kid wants this kid wants this, my husband wants this, I have to do this, I have to do. That's Krishna. And Meda, or intelligence. So what's the verse about Lord Chaitanya with the word Meda? Yes, Meda Sahab. Anyone who has good intelligence, they will join the Sankirtan party of Lord Chaitanya. And Prabhupada says in the third verse of Teachings of Queen Kunti, that sociologically speaking, generally women outnumber men in religious ceremonies. That is certainly true today. I think it's like 2 to 1. That isn't always true when I give this presentation, but it's certainly true here. And Prabhupada said that is because it is the natural intelligence of women to surrender to the Lord. He said men are a little hard-hearted and it's a little harder for them. But no, don't. So this Meda of women to join the Sankirtan movement, to surrender to the Lord, that intelligence is Krishna. The steadfastness when women are chaste and faithful and fixed in their vows, that is Krishna. And then patience. So how many of you ladies here are mothers? How many mothers do we have here? Who's a mother? All right, do you have to be patient with your children? Right? I think you have 3 choices. Be patient, have someone else watch them, or go crazy. Right? No, guys, don't listen to this. Do you have to be patient with your husbands, too? Yeah. This is Sukanya and Shaivana Muni. So that patience of women, that is Krishna. Among poetry, I am the Gayatri. Those of us who chant the Gayatri mantra 3 times a day, that is God in the form of a poem. Well, this one does not apply in Durban, South Africa. But at least north of the equator, these are the months of the harvest season. And pretty most of the cultures, except the equatorial ones where they don't really have a harvest season, there's some kind of harvest festival. What is our Gaudiya Vaishnav harvest festival? This is, again, hard for people in the southern hemisphere to figure out. But what's our Gaudiya Vaishnava harvest festival? Govardhan Puja, yes. And spring. So after the cold of winter, the dark of winter, and the trees start coming into their flowers and beauty, the season of youthfulness, that is Krishna. The gambling of cheats. So usually when you're cheated, you don't know you're cheated until later, right? Seems like a good person. And then later, oh my God, my bank account's empty. But with gambling, it's up front. Okay, let's put the cards on the table. I'm going to try to cheat you. You're going to try to cheat me, right? It's up front cheating. This is one I like to meditate on. Krishna's the splendor. The wow factor of everything. Adbhutaras. Srila Rupa Goswami says that this wow factor, this adbhutaras, must be present anytime we're getting any pleasure out of anything. And that splendor, that wow factor is Krishna. I am victory, that sense of being victorious. Adventure. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says we should see our whole life as an adventure. All strength. What does Hiranyakashipu ask Prahlad? Where do you get your superhuman power from? And what does Prahlad say? From the same place you do, Father, from Krishna. Punishment. When we see the criminals get punished and we are relieved, that's Krishna. This is an interesting one. We don't always win all of life's battles, but sometimes, even when we lose, we keep our integrity. Yes, you've had this experience? You didn't get what you want, but you didn't sacrifice your principles, and didn't that feel like a kind of victory? Yes, that's Krishna. Silence. This is Bhagavad Gita 10:38. Prabhupada says, among the confidential activities of hearing, thinking, and meditating, silence is most important because by silence one can make progress very easily. Our wisdom, our realization, and all seeds, not just the seeds like rice and wheat, but the seeds of our relationships, our projects, our ideas, that's Krishna. I love to meditate on this one. There's so many beautiful, wonderful things in this world. And we may be in awe. Wow, that's amazing. But all of that together is only a spark of how amazing is Krishna. So we looked at the 7th, 9th, 10th chapter. There's a few from chapter 15. The splendor of the sun, the glory of sunrise, sunset, full noon, the splendor of the moon, reflecting on the water like diamonds, looking like a pearl in the sky, the splendor of fire, how we like to watch fire dance, the pilot of the planet. Usually when we're in a moving vehicle, we feel it moving, but somehow the earth moves without us feeling it. The different flavors of the vegetables that come from the moonshine. The fire of digestion. This is a really nice one to meditate on, right? So my ear yesterday was rice. How did that happen? How did broccoli turn into my nose? How does he do that? How does Krishna do that as the fire of digestion? And he joins with the prana to move the food from our mouth to our esophagus, to our stomach, to our small intestine, throughout all of our blood vessels. So now we're at Bhagavad Gita chapter 15, verse 15. So this is Bhagavad Gita 15:15. And the Sanskrit is Sarvasya Chaham Riddhi Sanniviso Matasmatir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. I give remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So this was a favorite verse in our family. Whenever anybody would lose anything, we'd say, well, just chant 15:15. So, Mata, I can't find my other sock. Well, just chant 15:15. Sarvasya Chaham Riddhi Sannivisto Matasmatir Jnanam Apohanam Cha. I found it. So once when I was traveling, a friend came up to me and said, Urmila, I can't find my phone. I said, well, just chant 15:15. So she starts walking around the room saying, 15:15, 15:15. And if she's watching, hi, sometimes she likes to watch my class. Okay, so I told you I had a special treat. So sorry, it's going to go, I'm running a little late. Okay.
on a thread. The taste of water, the life of all that lives. The nourishing light the sun always gives. The sound beneath their ability in man. Of all that exists, the best is what I am. When life of all life, the heat of the fire, the strength of the strong, free of lust and desire, the seed of existence, the prowess of man. These are some more ways to see what I am, what I am. These are some more ways, these are some more ways, these are some more ways to see what I am. whichever follows its course. And in living beings I'm the living force. my splendor to spring. Come let us sparkle my splendor. Come let us sparkle my splendor. Come let us sparkle my splendor to spring. To spring. I
hope you all like that. That's from Mahatma Das Prabhu. You can find it on his YouTube channel, and the video was done by Narada Rishi Dasi. So I just want to take a couple minutes and just ask any volunteers what you're going to meditate on this next week from this presentation. Ability. Okay, great. Someone else. Water. Someone else? Yes. Generating principle of all that is yet to be. It's one of my favorites. Someone else? Yes? Sound? Someone else? Time. Of subduers, yes. Of sacrifices, I am japa. So any of you who would like to go more deeply into this, I'm afraid we've run out of books, but you can get them online. The book is called Krishna Meditations. I wrote it with a South African co-author, Kamalasita, who was originally from the Cape Town area. And so that's available in India from Golden Age Media. It's available on Amazon as paperback, hardback, and a Kindle book. And we're working on an audiobook. So again, I'm sorry I've run out of books here. But it's full of illustrations of all of these and little 2-minute meditations, the kind of book you can just open anywhere and read a paragraph and have that help your day. So thank you very much. Any mistakes here are my own. I hope you can excuse them. Anything good here is from Srila Prabhupada and Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita, and certainly not from me. Thank you. Radha Radhanath ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Urmila Mataji, for that very beautiful and enlightening presentation. I think there's definitely something for everyone here to meditate on and reflect. Devotees, we have a few announcements before we get into Aarti. We can look forward to a very spiritually charged week, starting with morning classes at 7:30 at Sri Sri Radha Radhanath. On Monday and Tuesday, the class will be presented by Her Grace Urmila Mataji. On Wednesday, there'll be a Srimad Bhagavatam class with His Grace Shruti Prabhu. On Thursday, it is the disappearance anniversary of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and there'll be a special morning class at 7:30 with His Holiness Bhakti Brihad Bhagavata Swami. There will be a fast until midday and also a festival that will be beginning at midday. Just a reminder that Srila Prabhupada's book marathon, and if you would like to participate in the book marathon, to please contact the Sankirtan office. Today's love feast was prepared by the Meerbank Namahata, headed by His Grace Panchamrita Prabhu and his wonderful team. Devotees, I would like to call upon Her Grace Rukmini Mataji to share some exciting news with us. Thereafter, we will go straight into Aarti and Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It seems like I always have exciting news. We'd like to invite everyone to our New Year's Eve Bhakti Theatre Spectacular, which will be happening on December 31st at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. It includes a variety of things. There'll be a choir, there'll be a drama based on Cinderella, but a gita version. So if you'd like to come and check that out, that would be interesting. There'll be physical chakra wheeling, if you'd like to come and check that out. So it will also include a meditation of how we can enter the new year that will be done by Devi, Dasi. And if you'd like to participate in the drama, if you'd like to be part of the choir, we're starting up soon, so you can just connect with us and be part of that. As you exit, you'll see that we have some flyers and some posters that will keep you informed of what's happening. On Tuesday evening also, there will be a session on teaching to people's needs by Urmila Prabhu, and that will be, especially we'd like to target people, devotees involved in managerial services, outreach services, and everybody has to lead something, even in their family. So if you'd like to be part of that, also just connect with me and I can share the details with you. Hare Krishna. I think we'll move on to Arti now.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavari Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Austere Setta Sri Sriman, His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki, Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Austere Setta Sri Sriman, His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada Ki, Ananta Gaudiya Vaishnavini Ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki, Prem Shikoho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki, Shri Sri Radha Radhanath Ki, Gaur Hari Ki, Giri Govardhan Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga.
Shri Nrsimha Bhagavan Ki. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Dayine. Pralada Lada Dayine. Hiranyakasipu Vakshaha. Hiranyakasipu Vakshaha. Shila Tankana Kalaye. Bolo bolo. Shila Tankana Kalaye. Ito Nisenga Barato Nisenga. Ito Nisenga Barato Nisenga. Yato yato yamitato Nisenga. Yato yato yamitato Nisenga. Bahini Singari Dayini Singa. Bolo bolo. Bahini Singari Dayini Singa. Narasimha Madin Saranam Prapade. Narasimha Madin Saranam Prapade. Narasimha Madin Saranam Prapade. Narasimha Madin Saranam Prapade. Tavakara Kamula Bade Nakam Adbhuta Shringa. Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tano Bringa. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare.
Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Nrsimhadev Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prem se bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Nrsimhadev. Jaya Nrsimhadev, Nrsimhadev, Jaya Nrsimhadev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Gaur Hare Bol. Nitai Gora Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Gaur Hare Bol. Nitai Gora Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Gora Hare Bol. Sri Sri Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagavan Ki, Sri Sri Radha Radhanath Ki, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki, Shri Shri Nitai Gaura Hari Ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande.